Hello, this is the Bear With Me podcast with AP and KP, and as always, go Bears. Not two, not one, not four, three special guests. Three to five. We have three special guests on the podcast today. If you guys would like to introduce yourself real fast.
I'm Carson Harrell. I'm a junior.
I'm Emma Pugsley. I'm an 8th grader.
I'm Ivy Phelps. I'm an 8th grader too.
Wait,
hold on. I think is this first middle school.
This may be. You guys may be the first middle. Well, I think actually,
it
yeah.
is.
Well, that deserves, yeah. An actual round of applause. All right, guys, thanks for being on here. We were reached out to by Mrs. Greer, or Mrs. Greer Antrim, about doing a podcast for Bring Change to Mind.
Yeah.
If you guys all just kind of want to explain a little bit what that group is, and we'll kind of go from there.
All right. So Bring Change to Mind Club is our new mental health club. We actually started it last year, but we're actually starting to work with new stuff now. Bring Change to Mind Week is coming up. We're going to have a bunch of fun stuff going on there and everything else. We may actually introduce our own podcast during that week coming up.
I told them they can use our stuff.
Collab.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically a group where we talk about mental health awareness, the things that go into depression and suicide and everything else like that. But yeah, it's brand new. We're starting it up now, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Girls, anything to add?
You summed it up pretty well.
All right. So this started last year, you said?
Yeah, last
Kind
year.
of.
We didn't necessarily do anything with it, but we had the group laid out and everything else.
Okay. How many did Mrs. Greer start it, or did you guys as students, or?
I think Miss Greer started it, and then a lot of us just signed up, and now we've all just kind of been in somewhat control of our own group.
Okay.
How many are there?
We have leaders, and then we have people that are a part of it. I don't necessarily know how many of us there are, but it's almost like student council, but as if it was for mental health.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Now, you guys like meet and stuff?
Yeah,
Here
during
and there.
study hall.
Yeah, about like once a month or so. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna
Crank that.
I can't know. Talking this.
Hello.
There are four. I'm gonna crank you up a little bit so I can hear you guys. Okay. You meet during study hall like once a month, you said?
Yeah, something like
Okay.
that.
So what's like the, I guess, like, wait, when do you guys have actual meetings? Is it during study hall? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
it's
saying?
during
Yeah.
study hall.
Do you guys have leader meetings too, or?
We have club leader meetings, and then those meetings basically give out the information from Schoology.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if clubs all together meet or if it's the club leaders, because I do remember this previous meeting. It was just the entirety of club members.
Okay.
But it was helped to determine what we were going to do for Bring Change to Mind Week, which is coming up here soon, next week, actually.
Next week. Is it perfect timing?
This is great.
All right, tell us a little about that then. What goes on in the week?
So we're thinking about having a bunch of cool stuff going on during Bring Change to Mind Week. We're going to have a bulletin board set up somewhere up front, maybe. It's going to have a bunch of sticky notes on it. We're thinking about putting sticky notes on lockers, and then Mr. Middleton, if he agrees, may get a pie in the face.
Oh. Yes. That's going to happen anyways.
Let's go.
He doesn't need that.
Doesn't need a reason.
Hey, I saw your shirt.
Oh. I didn't even plan
It says
that.
the Creative Mental Health Company. Hey.
I didn't even plan that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nice.
All right, so then is it like, as far as the week goes, is there like dress-up days? Like there
There's
has been?
one.
There's going to be
One.
one dress-up day, and we haven't determined what it's going to be yet.
I'm pretty
I
sure
think
it's going to be
like the colors, like purple and teal.
Purple.
So remember to dress up.
Yep.
Yeah. We're also going to have stuff for breakfast for the staff on one day.
Hey.
Staff.
Miss Greer, Miss Antrim, she said something about bringing in donuts. Then we're going to have, I forget what we're going to do Friday. But Monday, that may be the debut for our podcast. It'll be a podcast that we do every Monday during study hall.
Wow.
Where it'll be set up and it'll be in the background of people doing the work and everything else. But it'll be basically where we come on here and talk about the basics that go into mental health and a lot of other things that may be behind it and so on.
Okay. And they were talking about this stuff. I'm like, they're like, yeah, we can look at buying. I'm like, guys, this is Monroe Central Athletic Trade. Use it.
Yeah.
You literally only use it for this. So
Yeah.
it worked out. So that'll be good. So next week. So what is that? The week of the 3rd. We're into March. You know what else March is? March is also National Athletic Training Month.
Madness.
And March Madness, more importantly. Okay, so tell us a little bit what happens at your guys' meetings and such.
It's kind of bland, to be honest. Last meeting we were talking about. We actually didn't even get into the conference room because there was already a meeting in there. But the meet that we had was, I think it was in Mr. Bradley's room. But it involved a lot of the leaders and stuff like that. We were talking about what we were going to do for Bring Change to Mind Week and ideas that would go around, get passed around. Actually, I forgot about one thing. We may or may not have our own panel. Okay. Where this may be like a once every 3 months, 6 months, something like that. Mm-hmm. But we'll have a panel where people can come out, and the club leaders for our group will have a panel where people from the public can come and ask questions about the mental health of youth and teenagers and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Which will be a lot of fun.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's great.
But this panel was kind of like a reference from a panel that me and McKenna are going to be doing, which this panel started about 3 years ago. It's an annual panel where teenagers from Randolph County go and speak to mental health experts and stuff like that, and basically tell them, like, okay, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, how does this, like, what basically plays into the mental health of a teenager or the youth or whatever. But at this panel, the experts will ask questions like, what are the stressors of school or something like that, or what are the stresses of mental health? It was actually said, this may be controversial or not, but teenagers, they were asked a question of what is the main thing that plays into the mental health of teenagers and what affects them. They said school. A lot of it was school. Then some of the superintendents got the same question, and they said social media. So they were off by almost like a long shot, but a lot of that is basically played into the fact that nobody can really understand the mental health that goes behind a teenager. It's so, like, difficult and honestly stressful sometimes. But it's just... it's hard to understand in a very, very difficult manner.
So we've been out. Adam's been out 15 years now. I've been out 12. It's changed a lot. Incredibly a lot since we were in school and all that. I feel like there's a lot more. I mean, and I see that obviously working with all you all in your age group every day. But yeah, girls, what would you say? What happens at meetings and that kind of thing?
Well, last meeting we just planned the mental health week, and there was only like 4 people who showed up, so it wasn't that good.
Mind you, there are 2 different sets of groups for Bring Change to Mind. There's junior high, and then there's high school.
Oh, okay.
So I have no clue what happens at their meetings.
So
I'm pretty sure
who else is in junior high?
There's like Lucy, Gracie, Elena, and Lucas.
Yeah, and then there's 7th graders too.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know who's...
7th graders.
I don't know.
They don't really come to the meetings, so I don't know.
There's one last time.
Oh, yeah.
Well, 7th grade, get your rears out there.
Yeah.
Good to act together. Carson, how many people are in high school? Like, how many leaders, I guess? Who's all leaders for you guys?
So we have a secretary, president, vice president. I'm the social media manager for it.
All right.
That's why I'm here right now. I'm going to be the one that's basically behind the scenes of the podcast, like help setting it up and stuff like that, kind of like this. Actually, I may be in a few. I don't know yet.
There we go.
But Lucas Morris, he's our president.
President.
That guy.
McKenna Chamness, she's a part of it as well. Bailey Swift, she's in it. Ella Sims. There's quite a few others that I don't know. Well, I do know them. I just don't remember.
Understandable.
Ours is not that organized. We do not have roles. We just go.
So is Mrs. Greer-Antrim? I'm gonna stick with that. I'm pretty sure that's what I put on everything. Mrs. Greer-Antrim, is she in charge of both, like as
Yes.
a whole? But then there's
sure.
junior high and there's high school. Do you guys coincide at all?
We were talking about it, but
Kinda,
we
sorta.
never have.
Okay, so it's possible. So
Yeah.
kind of, but I guess for the week,
Which would be a good
for the
Yeah.
week next week.
We
you kind of
combined
are.
ideas for
Yeah.
Bring Change to Mind Week.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily coincide or whatever in the same meetings or stuff, but yeah, with this one time we did for this upcoming week.
Okay. Well, there we go. What I guess from all your guys' perspectives, because of course you guys are reasonable amount younger than us, and then also just in school now.
Yeah.
What's the big driving factor for each of you guys to be in Bring Change to Mind?
Mental health. Like, I know that's kind of sounds obvious, but it's mental health of a teenager for me. Like, I support, like, a lot of the things that go behind the mental health of a teenager. I've been in bad places, stuff like that. I'm basically saying, like, I understand where some of the teenagers are nowadays and how it's pretty bad. Like, it's bad for a lot of other people. I was actually talking to Zyler, which he is the program leader for, I forget the name of the program, but it's part of the Mental Health Mondays. Mm-hmm. But he's the one who helped set that up because of somebody committing suicide. Like, I heard about this program, but I never really knew that it was him until today we had our practice for that panel. Mm-hmm. And then we were talking to him and stuff like that, and he finally came out and said that, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I just, you're amazing. Like, that kind of thing. Like, it was almost as if he was a celebrity to me. But a main driving factor for me is to the mental health and the support that I feel like I can do for a teenager and the mental health and stuff like that.
Emma?
I'm the student advocate of my grade, so I'm kind of just put into it, but yeah.
Hey.
And then I didn't really, like, know at all, like, what it was, but when she was in it, then I was like, I'll just be a part of it and, like, see what it's, like, about. And then, yeah.
So now that you guys are in, because I'm going to keep on that, you can't just have that short of answer. Emma, now that you are, what did you say you are?
The student advocate.
Student advocate for that. Now that you are part of it and everything, what do I word this? What makes it special for you to be in that role, I guess?
Well, I like everybody to be happy, so yeah.
That's a good answer. Hey, that's added more. Yeah, that's a good answer. Ivy, same to you?
Yeah, and, like, just, like, helping people, like, feel better and stuff.
Yeah, well, we can all get behind that.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna switch around a little bit. Carson, you said something about you had I know we talked about the panel before. You had panel practice. What did that entail?
So we basically went to the Compass Church in Winchester. It was, unfortunately, there was only 3 of us there for the practice, but this was basically where we go and we're going to get used to the environment of people, like, asking questions. Like, these may or may not entail, like, sensitive questions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Basically how it's going to go. There's going to be moderators that, like, get asked questions, and then they ask us those questions, but those moderators are basically the deciding factor on whether we get asked those questions. Then we meet the others that are going to be doing the panel, which unfortunately it was just me, McKenna, and then Zyler, which I forget what school he goes to, but he's going to be one of the students that's there.
Is it just Randolph County?
Yeah.
Okay.
But this basically entails us being asked questions behind the mental health of a teenager, and they got us used to used to these questions. I think one of them was trying to think. One of them actually asked about church a little bit. It was like, how can church help with the mental health of a teenager, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I was honestly like, there's a lot that kind of goes behind the mental health of church and stuff like that for a teenager like me. I don't necessarily routinely go to church. I go to church enough for me to be like, oh, well, hey, I technically go to church. Mm-hmm. I actually started going to church about 2 years ago. And I'm the only person in my family to routinely go to church. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot that plays behind it. It's not just like going there for God or other stuff, because this is also youth and everything else, and getting to meet other people your age and so on.
Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Take a breath, Carson. We're good. We're good. Okay, I'm going to switch around a little bit. What, for each of you guys, I'll go down Ivy, I'll start with you. What other groups are you guys a part of here? Sports, extracurriculars, that kind of thing here at MC?
I'm in student council. I'm just like a member of student council. I'm a leader of FCA, and then I play softball, and then I played volleyball last year in 7th grade, but I'm going to do cross country next year instead.
Yes. Sorry, sorry, Rick.
Yeah, I said. Well, I also played volleyball this year, and then Bring Change to Mind. And is that it? I think that's it.
Yeah. I do student council. I'm just a member of it again. I'm an FCA leader. And then I guess I'm a student advocate and bring change to minds and volleyball.
Volleyball.
Now, this may be a surprise to people, but I actually don't play sports. I do many things, though, like bring change to mind, mask and gavel. You may or may not have seen me in the most recent play, which was called Our Town, I believe.
That sounds right.
Although I was in it. Anyways,
It's been a little bit.
I'm in Mask and Gavel. We have another group outside of Mask and Gavel called Thespian Society, which is another topic for another day. Then I'm in Quiz Bowl, academic team, and then I have student council as well.
Quiz Bowl and academic team. Who's the coaches of that?
It's Quiz Bowl was boot check, and then academic team, they're separate groups. So Smiley is the coach for social studies, I believe. May or may not be for math, I'm not sure. Then Dr. Warren's the coach for English, and then Mr. Smith is the coach for our science team, and then Miss McClung is the fine arts team. I am on fine arts and science.
Nice. My wife did that in school. State champ. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
Just state champ in, what's the interdisciplinary? Yeah.
Wow.
Boom, baby.
Look at her.
The topic for this year for academic team is actually Ireland, believe it or not, like older Ireland. And I remember getting a question about what was like one of the lead causes for the potato famine. I'm like, I have no clue.
It's a good question. Let me see if somebody else knows that one.
But yeah, we basically go and get asked questions about certain topics, about one main topic, which is, it's a whole lot of fun, really. Quiz Bowl was, think of like interdis, but everything.
All the time.
Didn't you do that?
The little
When I
bits
was
of everything.
Elementary, I think.
Oh, okay.
They had an elementary too, is that right? Do you have any idea?
Like
I
I
was
feel
on
like I
Quiz Bowl in
did. Maybe it
elementary.
was junior high.
I think you did in junior high.
Yeah, I can't remember. Look at you. Can't remember anything.
I
but-
can't remember. I wasn't in it. I can tell you that.
Was VP used to be?
Yeah, VP
Okay.
was there last year for our academic team.
What a lady.
We need to get her.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
I genuinely already thought she did this.
Well, she has, but we need her again.
Just bring her up about every podcast.
Yes. Again. All right, and then let's go down the line. Ivy, we'll start with you again. Tell us a little bit about your familia and, well, pretty much your family.
Hobbies.
And hobbies outside of school. There you
Hobby
go.
horse.
Thank you. Hobby horse.
Okay. I have a sister who's a junior. Her name's Ava, and we live in farmland, and I like to play softball. That's my favorite sport.
Yes.
And I played on the travel team like last year, but I'm
Who'd
not
you play
doing.
for?
We actually started our own team with like Yorktown, and my dad was like one of the coaches. We were called the Aces, but yeah.
Your dad's one of the assistant coaches, too, on staff.
Oh, on softball.
For high school.
Nice.
And then that's pretty much it.
That's pretty much me.
That's
What
okay.
do your mom and dad do for a living?
Oh, my mom is like a nurse, like instructor at Ball State, and she also is like like helps with nursing, like sometimes like if they need her. And then my dad buys and sells sports memorabilia.
I need to talk to him more about that. I totally spaced that, but I need to get
awesome.
with him on that. Emma?
Well, my dad is Brian Pugsley.
That guy.
Yeah, that's not a good topic right now.
Man,
He's a 7th grade math teacher. He also teaches some other subjects.
He's too busy to be on the podcast.
No, he's not.
Brian, I'm sure
We
you're.
had Brian on the podcast?
No,
Oh.
I'm sure you're watching this right now.
I'm gonna force him to.
Disappointment.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Emma.
My mom, Dana Pugsley, she's a 1st grade teacher.
Okay.
Yep.
I've not reached out to her. Maybe she will. Brian.
Brian.
My sister, her name's Adeline, and she's a 6th grader. And then I have a dog named Journey. And then
What kind of dog?
she's a black lab mix. Yeah. And then a cat named Rue. And then, I don't know, one of my hobbies, it's kind of basic, but I just like reading.
There's nothing basic about that. It's totally fine. Carson?
Now I'm gonna warn you. Do you just
We're
want?
warned.
Do you want the small side of my family or like the big side?
Carson, you tell us whatever you think.
I'm
This
gonna.
whatever your little heart
desires.
Yeah, there is no script to this podcast.
Whatever your
I
heart
told you.
desires.
I'm just gonna stick to the smaller side because
Okay.
if we were to go to both my mom and dad's side, it'd be huge. This is
gotcha.
just like sisters and
It's a
everything.
podcast.
But so on my mom's side of the family, I have 3 brothers. Caden and Charlie both went here. Charlie was class of 2020, and then Caden was class of 2023.
Winchesters?
Yes.
I did not realize that.
Yeah, those are my
I should-
brothers.
Okay, I should have made that conclusion.
We're half brothers.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell the resemblance between us. But yeah, they went here. Charlie did football for junior high, and then Caden, I think he did basketball for elementary at one point. I'm not sure. But then I have my mom and stepdad. My mom is currently the general manager for the Dollar General in Lynn.
Okay.
And then my stepdad works for a company. It was called Poly One, but he makes a bunch of like plastic containers, stuff like that. He works in a factory. It's kind of sucks.
Understandable. Yeah.
And then there's my grandma who lives with us. She's retired, and just a bunch of other stuff.
Good grandma.
And then my uncle, he was in the military. He's a weird guy. Weird.
Strange fella.
Really, he's the epitome of strange fella. He's the dude's obsessed with nature and everything else. But
For him.
Yeah, all right.
my hobbies entail I like messing around with computers and other stuff like that. I play video games, and every now and again I'll go outside.
What video games? What's your
Right now, Red Dead 2,
God, I love that game.
had that on the Switch?
Great game.
and then Fallout New Vegas, and I'm really obsessed with like Bethesda games and stuff like Skyrim and many other things. Gosh, I sound like a nerd.
It's all right.
There's no judgment.
Sound like
here.
your uncle.
Yep.
I'm just kidding.
He's gonna come for you now.
He was in the military.
That's true.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I apologize. All right, going back to changing mine a little bit. What I guess we'll go down the line again. Carson, we'll start with you. We'll go opposite this time. What is which we kind of already touched a little bit, but like for Bring Change of Mind, what's the big message you want to get out to the students that listen to this?
You're not alone. You're not alone with anything. Trust me. I figured that out like heavily. There's people that struggle just as much, if not more than you, believe it or not. Like, I've gotten in a low place as well I'll just say it. I was suicidal at a point. But I reached out and I got help, and I know that sounds extremely hard to do in a bad situation. But the main factor for me is really you're not alone. There's help that you can seek. We are getting ideas about how we can continue to help and stuff like that. Motivation, keeping people in a good mood and stuff like that. Trust me, if we had the ability to make the world cupcakes and rainbows, we would. Like, it's world peace and everything. Like, it's one of the main factors in my life that I just really wish that would happen.
Absolutely.
I really hate politics too.
I'm with you, man. Emma?
Yeah, you're not alone, and like everything will be okay. Like you're probably in your darkest part of your life, so if you get through this, then you can get through everything.
Perfect.
There's like people at your school that care, and like even students who like you're probably friends with like care and try to help you.
That's another thing. Like, everybody cares. Like, everybody cares at least a tiny bit about you, no matter what you may think. Like, a person that's in a completely different class, if they've seen you a little bit, and if you were to pass away in school, just everybody cares, even if it's the tiniest bit.
We've been through that a couple times throughout the
Yeah.
years, and so we were with you there.
It was like, I'm not putting out any names or anything, but something that happened a few years ago, and when we all did the blue shirts and stuff like that, everybody cares.
Yeah.
Period. Everybody cares.
AP and I obviously are both. We graduate from here, and then we live in Parker. Better than Farmland. But where do you, are you the Farmland? No, you guys
No,
don't.
we live near Cowan.
No. Yeah.
I don't live like in farmland, but like I have a
farmland
farmland address. Yeah.
Carson?
I live on the outskirts of farmland. It's like 3 miles north of farmland. I don't know what I can be considered. Green County.
Son of a. I can't remember where I was going after that. Hold on. Oh, So we've been here our whole lives as well. There's something about small. It's all I ever known, but small school. There's small school as a high school. Like there's something about it. Like you said, even if you don't like, we're small enough here. I mean, even some seniors know at least some of the 7th graders, and like even if they're not in your class, I mean, you may not know them personally, but like you know of them.
They are.
Yeah, and you're right. You guys are all right.
No,
I mean, there's somebody
absolutely.
for you. I mean, even if you don't, hang out with them all the time or interact or anything. And obviously I'm looking from the opposite side, but I feel like we have a good staff as far as that goes as well. The people that are here now are wonderful, and I think and especially this topic has begun. Obviously, you guys know, has gotten more and more big, which it should. Yeah. Obviously, this is one of the biggest things, is like you said, teenagers
for
right
teenagers.
now. Yeah. All the resources and everything are, and I've been through training and stuff, athletic training wise, but also like behavioral type stuff and all that. But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're getting there. You guys are. This club has been awesome. So shout out to Mrs. Grantram and getting this started. We're gonna do a little bit lighter side real fast. We have asked this season, and most of our guests, we've asked top 3 movies or TV shows. If you're not a movie person, Ivy, we'll start with you. Top 3 movies, or just top whatever you can think of offhand. I should have told you about this.
I like The Outsiders.
Oh,
that's great movie.
I also like the newest Willy Wonka movie, like the one with Timothy Chalamet in it.
Timothy Chalamet, I forgot. I haven't seen that one. There's a Timothy Chalamet. How dare you?
Is.
We'll talk after that.
That one was pretty good.
Okay.
And then
SNL. I gotta show you Timothy Chalamet. Just look up Timothy Chalamet SNL. You'll like him.
Okay.
And
Go
then
ahead, sorry.
I don't know what else. Maybe I like the Wicked movie, like the new
Yes.
movie.
Haven't seen that one either.
That's
haven't seen it.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Doesn't it have Ariana and Lady Gaga, maybe?
Lady Gaga's not in it.
Nope.
I don't think.
That's
But
thinking of somebody
Ariana
else.
Grande is, yes.
The Outsiders. That was a
That's a pull right there.
great movie.
I think I've watched that since
Stay golden.
being here. Pony boy. Emma?
I like the Hunger Games, all of them.
Classic.
And then The Outsiders, and then Tangled.
Okay.
That's my wife's favorite movie.
That's my wife's favorite Disney movie.
Yep.
Carson?
Carson likes The Outsiders.
This is a very unknown movie. It's called Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. They had a recent Netflix
I've
series.
heard of it at least, yeah.
It's a little more R-rated with kind of things, but that one's a good movie. Suits is another good one, and then I'm trying to think of the other one that I had. And I lost it. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, next question. Favorite teacher here at MC?
Oh no.
Ivy, go ahead.
Probably Mr. Ferguson.
I feel like that's been a big answer
that's a
around
big-
here.
it is.
Just for good top teacher.
Emma?
I'm kind of
Definitely not Brian Pugsley.
Not Brian.
Sorry. Not sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'm kind of obligated to say him, but
You're not obligated, no.
I don't
Let's
know.
just say if your dad didn't teach you.
Or your mom.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Mr. Ferguson. I also like Mrs. Braswell, Mr. Johnson. I like all of the teachers I've had so far
Good.
in the high school.
Okay.
You're not into high school yet, right?
Well, junior high.
Okay. I was like,
High school bill.
Let me think. High school, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
I'll give you my top 3 and I won't give you the order.
Okay.
Miss Reese, great teacher.
I was going to say, it took me a minute.
Yeah.
Yep.
Miss Ulry, she was the great teacher from when I was was it freshman? She teaches freshman biology, I
Sounds
think.
right.
And then Mr. Merkel.
Okay.
That's it.
Top 3, no order. I like that.
Oh, we'll make a 4th. Mr. Ferguson.
There you go.
Fergie. The man, the myth, the legend.
Everybody loves Ferguson.
Who's your? We haven't said ours in a little while.
Proctor.
Yeah, Proctor. You guys don't have the
Oh, gosh.
the loveliness of having Proctor.
That guy.
He was in
He's been on the podcast.
Smiley's room. He has been on the podcast.
Check out the podcast.
Check out the podcast. Speaking of, the sponsor for the podcast, the one sponsor we have, Stop and Sip in Parker City, closed right now for a couple weeks. They are
Expecting a child.
Yeah, expecting a little girl. So we're excited for them. But when they do open back up, they have wonderful business gravy, bacon. They have lunch. They have lunch wraps. Best coffee around. Everything that you
Have
can
you all
think
been
of.
to Sunset?
I haven't.
We actually did a thespian society show there. It was like a stand-up open mic kind of thing. Where
yeah.
It was a very small amount of people. It was like the parents of the kids and everything else. We did comedy skits, all kinds of stuff. I tried the great coffee.
Oh, yeah.
I actually worked at Jerry's in Jaden, one of the owners there, and Lindsay. They actually both worked at Jerry's, but Jaden had to have been my favorite manager when I worked at Jerry's for about a month.
That guy.
The man.
What a guy.
This is going to be controversial.
Uh-oh.
Well, you're right here first.
I despise Jerry's. It's all I'm going to say. It's.
Good for you.
But yeah.
Hey, we speak the truth. I mean,
Yeah. Speak your truth.
yeah.
The Stop and Sip, though, it's great coffee.
They have done a wonderful job.
Top 10 coffee.
Downtown Main Street, Emma's not been there.
Nope.
Dang it, Emma.
Maybe a couple weeks.
It's because of my father.
Brian!
Yeah.
Ryan.
He doesn't really like coffee in other places
I'm appalled.
besides his own coffee pot.
Let me guess, he drinks his Folgers.
Does he have he has last period class, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Dang it, I would call him
I
if
was
not.
like, get your radio.
Yeah.
Seventh
Hold
period,
on.
you can call him.
Brian? Brian, your kids want to have their own coffee.
I'm gonna go
Well,
stop and sit.
I actually don't like
they
coffee,
wanna
but
have a-
I like
They
biscuits
like
and gravy.
they like biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
Classic. Other kind of sponsor of the podcast, Monroe Central Athletic Training, at Monroe Central AT on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Hit me up on there. got some new videos coming out. We're getting to the end of the day. We're gonna be better at this. We had the announcements come on in the last one, so we're gonna wrap this up, guys. We do have the Craig Nichols dad joke section of the podcast. Apologize. AP read some dad jokes
jokes.
and
Okay.
see if you guys enjoy them.
Let's see if these are any good. What kind of bug can tell time? A clock roach. Nothing. No, okay, that's fine. That's fine. Why shouldn't you trust trees? They seem shady.
That's pretty
I like
good.
that one. What do lawyers wear to work? Lawsuits. This is a tough crowd.
Tough crowd here.
What do you call a can opener that doesn't work? It's kind of stupid. A can't opener.
See?
Let's go. Get one. Let's go.
Why is it called a pontoon boat and not a friendship?
I don't know. Is that the thing?
The friendship.
Friendship. Okay.
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 See what you did there.
Okay. I like that.
Wait.
There you go. There you go.
Real quick before we go to shout outs, a quick recap of next week. What is happening? Bring change.
Recap.
Mr. Middleton pie in the face.
Let's go.
On Thursday,
Maybe.
we're having a dress-up day. The
Oh, yeah, the
purple and
dress-up
teal.
day.
To be decided.
Purple and teal.
No, purple and teal. We already. Okay.
There's also
Sorry.
a trivia day.
Oh yeah,
somewhere
trivia. That's what it
over the-
was.
During lunch. Or?
Ooh.
I think it's
Maybe over the
Over the
announcements.
announcements.
I
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
Oh, like
It'll be at
call
like
on
the
there.
beginning of the day kind of thing, I
And
believe.
get it by the end. Okay.
Cool.
Breakfast for the staff. And then Monday we may start our own podcast. There's potential there.
And we're putting sticky notes on lockers.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
sticky notes on lockers, and then the bulletin board with a bunch of motivation stuff like
Cool.
that, and so on.
You said purple and teal is what day?
Thursday.
Thursday.
Purple and teal. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thursday.
They've already
Lock it
said
in.
it 14 times.
Okay. Calm it down. All right, guys.
Walk in Thursday, see everybody wearing purple and teal. and it's just like,
I'm gonna have Brad
dang
Gold
it.
on. All right. If you guys have watched podcasts before, we always give shout outs. You can shout out anybody you want to. Ivy, we'll start with you again.
Okay. You should start with him.
Okay, Carson, go ahead.
Just shout out to Miss Greer, Antrim.
Yes.
Shout out to Miss Moran because she's helping us with a panel as well.
Perfect.
Pretty
good lady,
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Oh, yep. Forgot her last name.
Shout out to Miss Reese, my favorite teacher.
There we go. He gave the order.
No, I didn't.
He gave the order.
Nuh-uh.
Emma.
My mom and my sister, and then only,
Thank you. Thank you.
I was waiting for it.
I'll only shout out my dad if he ever gets on the podcast.
And takes you to Stop and Sip.
Yeah. And then
Two things.
yeah, and then my dog. Yep. And then Ivy.
Hey!
Hey.
Okay. I'll shout out my sister And
Ava.
my dog.
What kind of dog?
Yeah,
What kind of dog?
a German Shepherd,
Oh, name.
Roxy.
I love dogs.
And Miss Greer, like you did, and Emma, and that's it.
I will say this. I forgot to mention my pets, and
Okay, yes.
each of them both have a pet that had a name in my family. Rue, we have a boxer, and then Roxy, we had another boxer. And I'm like,
Go.
Wait.
something's going on.
Wait a
here.
second.
Yeah. What animals do you have currently?
We have 4 dachshunds. It's menaces. Absolute
Psychopath.
menaces.
I have a miniature long-haired psychopath.
We have 1 long-haired.
Okay.
And then I have a cat named Sophie. And then there's more cats. We have Mushu and Mayhem. Mushu was a chonker. You will. I walk down the driveway, and the next thing you know, you just see this big ball of fluff walking across like the driveway. And I'm like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's the cat."
Mushu.
It's a great name.
And then we used to have a Victorian bulldog. His name was Spartacus. It's
Wonderful.
It's a big dog. He was a lover though. He humped anything he's seen though. I'm serious, like
gracious.
anything.
That
And
guy.
then we have a boxer named Rue. But that's about it.
All right. AP. Becky.
Well, shout out Becky because she just interrupted.
Butler and Callie Rao.
That's not Becky.
That's not Becky.
And
It's
also
Madeline.
a reminder that if you are
Madeline
going on
Schwam.
a senior trip, make sure your first payment is
If you're going on the
by
senior
this
trip,
Friday.
your first
Thank you.
payment of $175 needs to be by Friday.
I never know. Pearl. Always gotta shout out
Oh yeah, shout out to Pearl.
Always gotta shout out
To
Pearl.
Pearl.
I'll shout out Veach.
Ooh, nice.
That guy.
Avery never got back with us. She never gave us code word.
Shout out Avery.
We always give Avery Thomas a code word because she didn't listen to the podcast for
Yeah.
8 years.
I've heard
Yeah, I've heard things.
the
Avery,
drama.
yep, wonderful.
Yeah.
Avery, the code word is
Gatorade.
Gatorade. Hit me up if you listen to it.
Anytime I'm going to see her now, I'm going to think of Gatorade.
As you should.
As you should. As you should, Gatorade. Shout out to my wife and daughter and doggo, Star. And then I'm going to shout out, not Brian Pugsley.
Yeah.
I should have thought about it.
Yep.
I'm going to shout out Brooke Murray in the office. We'll level it out.
Go,
with
Brooke.
Brooke and Becky.
Yep.
Yeah. This will be out. This will be out Wednesday, so you guys can get with your family and maybe talk Brian into it.
I've tried and I've failed, but this time I will.
This time,
make
see,
it. Yeah.
yes, make.
Because you're on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the end of the podcast, but this is also available on YouTube. If you search the Bear With Me podcast on YouTube, you can find us on there in video format. Woo! All right, guys, we end the podcast with a Go Bears, so we'll all look into the camera, and after 3, we'll give a Go Bears. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Go Bears!